These two badges tell a story that could almost tell the entire story about this car that we're looking at right now. John Cooper Works, the people and the man who made the legend of the Mini. The original Mini back in the early 1960s, the car that won Monte Carlo against all odds. And then you saw the badge that says ALL4, because this is a really, really special version of the Mini. In Clubman form over here, which means it's a station wagon version, but the full John Cooper Works version that Mini South Africa launched not long ago. I drove this car down in the Garden Route area not long ago on launch, and let me tell you, the performance is phenomenal. But I kind of wondered at the time, I was expecting even more of a hooligan car on the launch. But then again, I've lived with this for a week now, and suddenly I've discovered that if it was the total hooligan I maybe thought it would be, maybe it would have been a bit much to live with. And maybe having refined it and smoothed it out a bit more, maybe Mini, BMW have done the right thing in bringing it to be an everyday car as well. It's got a 290-litre boot as standard. You can drop the rear seats as always and create over 800 litres of boot space. So it's practical, isn't it? And then again, the name Mini even these days is quite a misnomer because they're not small cars, they're family cars. But the JCW is all about the driving. So let's get inside, take a look at what it's like when you're driving this little beast. That noise and that sound tells a story. And look what's popping up in front of me. Yes, this car even has a heads-up display. You can see speed limit shows as well, linked to the navigation system. And if you're using the navigation, it shows you your navigation directions as well. So all of that. But you can hear a nice little growl from the engine. If I click a little button quickly, you'll see some. Listen to that. Because I've just gone into sport mode. Yes, the multi-mode transmission on the BMWs, on the Minis with the multi-mode, and I went into sport mode over there and you heard the difference. It's a button over here that clicks it over to sport mode, or over there back into normal mode, and even in eco mode. But come on, if you're going to buy a JCW John Cooper Mini, I don't think you're going to worry about eco mode, quite honestly. I certainly didn't, because you've got the standard Mini center round screen, and this car has many upgrades on it. So you've got the full professional navigation, you have everything, you've got Mini Connected, you've got My Mini, which gives you a lot of features, you've got the navigation, you've got communication, the cell phone works brilliantly. It all works so very, very well on this car. But of course, that is what you expect from the BMW Mini range. Can I call it that? Because I think it's important to call it that. You've got your multifunction steering wheel over here with all your functions, all your features you need, and your pedals behind as well for the gear shift if you want to override that BMW Group 8-speed automatic transmission that again works very well in whichever mode. And remembering that when you move into sport or other modes, it does affect the gearing, it affects everything on this vehicle. Because what is the JCW or John Cooper about? You still have your little push buttons and these toggles over here for the various features. That switches out the stop-start, that switches out the dynamic skid control, and that of course switches out the active braking, active cruise control. Those are all features that you get over there as well that work brilliantly on the car. But of course the feature of BMW. On this particular car as well, we have the double sunroof, which simply opens with a pull of the little lever over there, but it, again, nice feature on the vehicle. I mentioned the 8-speed gearbox. Very smooth, very nice, very easy to operate. But what's really the secret of the John Cooper or JCW is the figures and the numbers. Because you are talking 170 kilowatts, you are talking 350 Newton meters of torque. In a medium-sized body, should I call it that? That is so much power, so much go, so much grunt in this vehicle. We drove it, as I said in the beginning of the video, I thought on launch maybe it was refined almost beyond what I thought would be a JCW. But then again, now living with it for a week, I found out why. Because if it was where I thought it could have been, it would be a handful, it would be unpleasant. The suspension is a little bit harder than a standard Mini, but not uncomfortable. But it's got the handling, it's got the road holding, that ALL4 intelligent four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive system that, of course, allocates drive to the wheels as they needed. Computerized systems make such a difference. The road holding is phenomenal on this car. Your finishes, of course, are up to BMW Group standard as well. Makes a very big difference, doesn't it? And you do have the space in the back for a family. And they're saying it's for a family because, look, it's got Isofix seat fittings as well. So, yes, they are definitely aiming it at the family. This particular car does have a lot of other extras as well. Let me start. The John Cooper, I mentioned, has the all-wheel drive and the upgraded engine, the 170 kilowatts, 350 Newton meters, as opposed to a 141 kilowatt in the Cooper S. So that's a lot more extra power. It's got the all-wheel drive, which is unique to the John Cooper versions. It's got special wheels and also the seat trim, the suede Alcantara and sport seats, which are unique to the John Cooper range as well. So those are some of the extras you get on the John Cooper range. And I've got to say that this is an opinion of mine, and it's my personal opinion, that Minis are not cheap cars, but they certainly give you a lot and they give you the quality. But I believe that the John Cooper is the best value in the Mini range for a premium of approximately 100,000 Rand over the Cooper S automatic Clubman. You get all those extras I've just mentioned, plus exclusivity, plus power, plus go, plus image, plus, at 100,000 Rand premium. I honestly believe if you want a Mini, the John Cooper Works versions are the bargain of the range. It may sound funny, but that is my personal opinion. You obviously get your 5-year, 100,000 kilometer service maintenance plan standard with the Mini as well. That is standard to the BMW Group. So you get all of these things. So many extras on this car, it's almost impossible to mention them all. So let's talk price. A standard manual version would cost you 552,000 Rand. This one with automatic box and the extras, of which I've mentioned some, not all, you're looking at 687,000 Rand. Yes, it's a lot of money, but boy, oh boy, it's a lot of car, isn't it? And it's a lot of fun. For Motor Matters, I'm Eleanor, and I'll see you next time.